Hello, Cassie Brown here. I am thrilled to welcome you to the Brace for Impact podcast. I've been incredibly blessed to work with and coach some of the top entrepreneurs, CEOs, and marketers in the industry. And do you know the one thing that they all had in common? They didn't wait for the perfect time, but hit the ground running. They learned to see opportunity in motion and just leap. I created this podcast to help other entrepreneurs own their calling, expand their influence, get uncomfortable, embrace the growth of the journey to leave an impact on the world around them. For those who are ready to stop playing it small, to pick up the mantle of contribution that our clients in the world so desperately need. If that's you, then get ready to brace for impact as I share with you the top strategies, real truths, and hacks to crash through the obstacles and arrive in alignment of integrity, impact, and income. It's time to initiate the ripple effect of change. All right. Hi, Cassie Brown here, and I am so excited to just dive right in. What we're going to be doing is laying the foundation for impact-driven marketing, and the biggest difference between two of the pretty much very commonplace, pretty much ideologies of the way that we're raised. And I want to tackle the first one and introduce you to a new one. So that's what we're going to be covering today. Super excited about this. We're going to be deep diving into the golden rule, but also introducing you to the platinum rule. So let's get started. All right. So when you're raised, and well, I don't want to make that assumption for everybody. Let's just start from my point of reference. I was raised in a small southern town, and very conservative background. So the golden rule is pretty much the keystone center at everything that you do. And if you're not familiar with the golden rule, it is essentially treat others the way that you want to be treated. And it is absolutely 100% an incredible way to live your life. But over the recent years, I've been learning more about a newer perspective, which is referred to as the platinum rule. And the platinum rule is treat others the way they want to be treated. And it's very unique. There's not a ton of difference between the two of them, because the underlying values is courtesy, kindness, consideration. But the platinum rule, in my opinion, makes you go one step further. It gets you outside of the internal view of what I want and how I would want to be treated, and it makes you take a step outside of your world and, in an empathetic way, look at it from someone else's perspective. And this is powerful, no matter what business that you're in, to be able to have that skill set to see another's perspective. Not only your point of view, but to be able to compare and contrast to someone else's point of view. And when you do this, it becomes second nature. It is very, very difficult for those who are not necessarily more emotionally inclined. There is a series of studies on empaths, which is essentially being able to connect and feel the emotion or the experience, or just to be able to really understand something at a very granular level, to literally be able to place yourself in someone else's shoes. So that's what I love most about the platinum rule, is that it makes you understand from another's perspective. So that's what I really want to take a deeper dive and talk about on the podcast today. Because if you look at something through the filter of someone else's perspective, it kind of helps you not be tainted. It helps you not be too close to something and remove your personal emotions, and to really see, is there a benefit to someone else outside of myself? Is there improvement that can be made? And when we look at that from that perspective, all of a sudden we don't have to fear judgment. We don't have to worry about if someone is literally giving us feedback to improve our product or our offer. If we seek it out, we are actively choosing to take a better path, to improve a product or an offer or a service, to get the result for the person we desire to impact the most. And that's what this perspective keeps us front and center in. Perspective is huge, and it's one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of businesses and entrepreneurs make. They're really in love with their product or their service, and they think it is literally the best thing since sliced bread. And it is impossible for them to look at it at other angles that may not be as flattering, or to really think about, is this the best thing for the end user? Is this the best experience that someone could have? Could we do better? And that's what I love about the Platinum Rule, is that it opens these types of discussions. So the way that I've incorporated it in my business has essentially been to really think of, when people contact me, when people reach out, and they, usually it's from a referral or a friend, a peer that I've worked with before, a client. Predominantly my business is word of mouth. So typically they come pre-framed, and the conversation usually starts out and is pre-framed around scaling, growing their business, or increasing traffic to their offer. And in just a few short questions, I can figure out, have they really thought about the way this is serving someone? Or are they literally just trying to throw money into Facebook ads to get more traffic? Low conversion rates don't matter because they're going on volume and budget of ad spend. And that's fine. Things will work, but they'll work at a completely different level if you've really thought about what someone else needs. And so I have this conversation with them, and we really work through, who is this for? Who is this benefiting? And we really get to know that ideal, perfect client, that perfect avatar, on who's actually going to be putting this product or service into place. How will they use it? How will it change their lives? How will it benefit their lives? So it's constantly that internal versus external. And we as business owners, we completely understand the benefits of our product, the everything, the value that we've created, but we don't necessarily communicate that or see it from the benefit that someone else is looking to get out of it. Another example of this is feature-heavy advertising, where you're just listing out, it does this, it does this, it does this, and not necessarily benefits heavy. So we can have feature-rich offers or products or services all day long, but if it's not hitting that communication for the people who really want the results most, it doesn't really matter what features, what bells and whistles that we've created. They want what they want. They have an envision of what success looks like for them, or what the results are from whatever course or product or service that you're offering. They already have in their mind what results they want to get. So it's our job to make sure we close the gap and make sure that they understand, not only are they going to get that result, but there's also additional benefits that we've created for them. So it's one of my absolute favorites. I hope this has been helpful and informative to you. The golden rule versus the platinum rule. And that's pretty much first part of our 101 for impact-driven marketing, is to get outside of your view. Yes, we absolutely 100%, 1000% want to treat other people the way that we want to be treated, but the way that we're really going to stand apart, the way that we're going to start separating ourselves as leaders and innovators, is to treat people the way they want to be treated and be uncompromising with the results that we're willing to create and offer for them, and just be grounded and relentless in the pursuit of that goal. Thank you so much for listening today and taking a deeper dive in comparison of the golden rule and the platinum rule. It's one of the center keystones, foundational teachings that I've incorporated with all of my programs, my current clients, and the Amplify program, as well as we will be touching on this in the Amplify retreat. And it's only just surface level of what we've been able to share today. My vision for the Amplify program and the retreat is essentially to lay this foundation that will start to set a dramatic difference, not only for your business, but how you do business and the connection and impact that you can make, not just in the first launch or relaunching a proven system, product, or process, in the long-term overview of your business. That is my passion and my heart, is to make sure that there is no stone unturned, that everything is buttoned up and super solid when it comes to growing and scaling your business. So if you are interested in learning more about the Amplify Retreat that's coming up in LA, this is a first-hand, really small group project. It is essentially going to become the blueprint for future projects and masterminds that we are doing, like hands-on workshop, hit the ground running. This is what I'm creating. This is what I'm offering, and planning out, actually taking the action steps while we're there together over that 4-day period in time, and having the marketing assets in place to launch. So I'm so excited about pairing this tactical and also live workshop implementation with the end result being taking action on something that may have been in your head and in your heart for 6 months, a couple years, whatever. The biggest thing that I see so many people just stopping on is really going all in and taking the leap and putting themselves out there. They have done it on a small scale, but they haven't really taken the next step into producing professional assets and actually scaling up and turning up the heat on their programs and offers and building that business that they envision. But there's a ton of fear associated with that. Platinum Rule is just step one in making sure that there is a undeniable connection on we are results focused and driven. And there's so much more that I cannot wait to share with you over the course of these next few weeks. But I also wanted to add just a little bit more detail about what's going on at the Amplify Retreat and what's coming up. So I'll be sharing the behind the scenes of how that goes. We do have a few more spots available if it's something that interests you and your business is ready for it. It's not necessarily for those who are brand new. It is for those who are looking to turn up the heat on their existing business model or personal brand and just really get out there and start building something instead of staying behind the scenes or locked up in the lab building, creating, and just doing those services one-to-one, and just really getting out there, amplifying their message, their voice, and their impact. I am so super excited about this and wanted to just add a little bit for you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you've received value, encouragement, and exactly what you need to help keep you in momentum to grow and impact the world around you. Big or small, we all make a difference. Thanks also for subscribing, downloading, and leaving a review. This helps us reach others who need this message in their life. If you know anyone who would benefit from this podcast, please share so you and I can help more people boldly step into purpose. It is my heart's mission to help and encourage others. My internal belief that a rising tide lifts all ships. So much of what we talk about on the podcast is leading with value and building relationships through service. So we've created a collection of resources for you to continue growing, whether you are just getting started or ready to scale your business. Visit amplifymyimpact.com for show notes, downloads, programs, and more information about how to directly work with our team to amplify your impact and change the world.